Bellator MMA is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Last week in the Featherweight World Grand Prix, Emmanuel Sanchez put on a show.
Incredible performance.
While the champion, Patricio Pitbull, showed once again why he is considered the best featherweight in the world. Just like that! Tonight, the semifinals begin with an explosive showdown fueled by bad blood.
Looking like you want some? Come get some!
6-0, AJ McKee, the brightest young star in MMA today, looks to move one step closer to his title dream.
Where's my belt?
But standing in his way, former bantamweight world champion, Darion "The Wolf" Caldwell. It's Caldwell versus McKee for a spot in the Featherweight World Grand Prix Finals on CBS Sports Network. The only thing better than the Final Four is when two combatants collide for Bellator Gold and $1 million tonight. One man will conquer and claim his spot in the finals. Welcome back inside the Mohegan Sun Arena. After multiple verbal battles and months of anticipation, Darion Caldwell and AJ McKee enter the Bellator cage for semifinal number one. And the stakes have never been more significant. 1 week ago, Emmanuel Sanchez was in pure destruction mode. And the champion once again showcased the power of the Pitbull. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. My partners, of course, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy. And then there were four. And Big John, undeniably, these four featherweights are four of the best on the planet.
There's no doubt about it. You're looking at Patricio Pitbull, Sanchez. They looked fantastic last week. And tonight, you're going to see two dynamic fighters in AJ McKee and Darion Caldwell.
Josh, you're a former world champion. You've been to the top of the mountain. At this point, is it pretty much all about the mental game?
I would believe 100% it's about the mental game. They've gotten here because of their talent and their ability, as well as their mental fortitude to get them through their training camps. And this is the grinding process. Right. Now we're in the 5-round process for every fight moving forward. And I gotta tell you, this lets you know who the champ is gonna rise to the top.
We know one thing, Darion Caldwell was a national champion at NC State in the sport of wrestling. We also know that Darion needs to bring more than that tool in his toolbox tonight to beat AJ McKee.
The biggest tool he's gonna bring is his experience, John. That's the biggest thing. He's been a champion. He's been to the championship rounds. AJ McKee has fought one 5-round fight, and he didn't get to those championship rounds because he finished it before he got there. I gotta tell you, I wanna see Darion Caldwell put him in those 4 or 5 rounds, but can he do it? That is the question.
One coach that I know very well, John, we joked about it earlier, says you win or you learn. In AJ McKee's case, he wins and continues to evolve.
Well, he's done both, but you got to figure this is a guy that grew up in an MMA household. His dad was a fighter and a very good fighter. One of the top in the lightweight class for a long time. And AJ McKee is way better than his dad ever was. He's good everywhere, Mike. He's got wrestling. He's got a superior submission game. He's got power in his hands, and his kicks and knees are devastating.
There are 4. After tonight, there will be 3. And it is going to be outstanding. Our main event, our first semifinal matchup of the Featherweight World Grand Prix. But we get started with one of our semifinalists' teammates. In the summer of 2015, Jens Pulver and Pat Miletich sent Ruffian Stots to Duke Rufus. And you know what? He started as a beginner in the kickboxing and jiu-jitsu classes. In 2014, Keith Lee followed his brother's lead, left the Motor City for Sin City in Extreme Couture, and it has been his fighting home ever since then. Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, the smoothest liquid gold in the world.
Bellator 253 begins now as bantamweights collide. Killer Keith Lee, Rafion Super Stots. The first fighter now set and ready to make his way to the cage. Killer Keith Lee.
Hands up straight for me, please. And good, and over, awesome. You have cup on, right? Off guard? That's the left here.
And now his opponent ready to make his way to the cage, Rafion Super.
Greater motivation than preventing someone from embarrassing you on live TV. Keith Lee said, that's not happening tonight. Duke Rufus has always professed that high tide raises all ships. The Matador was marvelous, and Rafion Stots is feeling the vibe and riding that wave.
Well, here is Rafion Stots against Cass Bell. Locks in the rear naked choke, gets the tap out. It is the top game that makes Rafion Stots special when he gets to the ground. But Keith Lee is dynamic in the stand-up. Beautiful body attack you seeing right here against Zani. He is fast, he's evasive, and he is tough.
Our tail of the tape for this first fight of the night, live on CBS Sports Network. Stots is 14-1. Big John 7 years the elder of his opponent Keith Lee.
Yeah, that 7-3 record Keith Lee was 3-3 before going to Extreme Couture, undefeated since being there.
Let's see if it stays that way. To get things officially underway, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Mohegan Sun Arena. Tonight, live on CBS Sports Network, Bellator MMA gets underway with bantamweight set for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 136 pounds even, his professional record, 7 wins, 3 losses from Detroit, Michigan. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, killer Keith Lee. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'7", weighing in 135.2 pounds as a professional, 14 victories, only 1 defeat. From Houston, Texas, he fights out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Rafian Stots. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Todd Anderson, our referee for this bantamweight battle, our first fight here tonight, live on CBS Sports Network. Stots.
Ready?
And Lee.
Hey!
Here we go! Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Rafian Stots in the red gloves, Killer Keith Lee in the blue gloves. Stots, the southpaw. Lee will switch his stance. Both men 2-0 inside the Bellator cage.
Fellas, I've been buzzing about this fight all week.
Yep. 4-fight win streak, Josh, for Lee. 6-fight win streak for Stots. As Big John pointed out, that 4-fight win streak since the move to Extreme Couture.
That jab working. Double jab in.
It'll be interesting to see if Rafian Stots is able to do exactly what he's doing right now as far as controlling the distance and making Lee actually react to what he's doing. That'll be a problem. And there you go with Keith Lee. That's what he needs to do. He needs to set his tempo and make Stots react to what he does.
What Stots is doing right now, it's very next level, is he's just taking the center of the cage, but he's not overreacting to whatever Keith Lee does.
Rafian, very good wrestling credentials, actually outstanding. D2 national champion. Don't forget, you can join the conversation on all social media platforms at hashtag Bellator253.
Yeah, send us over a tweet so I can read it on air for you. Love it.
That was a nice inside leg kick by Rafian Stots.
There you go. That's the move.
You know what I like, though, what I've seen from Keith Lee so far is he jabbed up top, jabbed to the body, then came back with the head kick earlier in this round.
Start to walk him
If he
down.
mixes it up like that, it's going to keep Stots guessing.
That was a beautiful straight left by Stots. That's exactly what he needs to do. Use those hands, use your strikes to set up your ability to get into the clinch and possibly get the takedown. You take Lee off of his feet, you're taking away one of his biggest weapons as far as his ability to hurt you with his strikes. Nice exit.
Come forward now.
And here we go. Josh, go ahead, you read it.
Jake Hager, my man, he heard me talking about it. He gave us a tweet. Excited to watch this one. We've been excited about this fight all week. This has been the buzz. Thanks, Jake, for sending me a tweet. I appreciate it.
I don't think it was just for you.
You touch it.
I don't know for sure.
You might be wrong.
Yeah.
John Hader's going to hate.
Just past the midway point, round number 1.
Kick off those punches.
Had a little back and forth with head coach Duke Rufus talking about Rafian Stots, and he said, and I quote, he's very special.
That landed, though. That head kick
Did land.
It was more of the knee that landed, which is usually the hardest part of the that lands. It hurts the most.
Came in as a D2 wrestling national champion and started as a beginner in kickboxing and jiu-jitsu classes, much like the Pettis brothers did years before.
You're going to get all... That kick landed with the chin all the way across the dome. It is his dome, exactly.
The dome.
Don't grab it. Let go.
This is what we talked about all week, though, John, was the heavy hip pressure of Rafael Stots. Look, both of these guys are not big guys, but the pressure that Rafael Stots puts, we saw against Caldwell. Caldwell's a good wrestler, a good jiu-jitsu guy. He had no success whatsoever at getting back to his feet.
This right here is a big problem for Keith Lee, as he cannot be on his butt. Getting back to his knees right now is going to be important. It's going to help him in getting himself out of the trouble area that Rafael Stots is trying to put him in.
Yeah, he needed to not let Rafael Stots get between him and the fence, because then that means he's on his back. Keith Lee needs to get 2 hands on one and wrist control so he can take away some of the chances of being submitted with the rear naked.
4 wins by submission for 14-1. Rafael Stots, Josh, all 4 have come by rear naked choke. 30 seconds on the clock, round number 1.
But you know how he gets those, right? Is that he puts such heavy hip pressure on them, it makes them forget about everything else except for trying to get up, and they expose their neck, and he takes the neck.
Did you know that, or did somebody tweet you that?
Jake Hager.
Sit on hard towards your left, Rock.
Very nice job by Keith Lee to remain calm, protect himself. Hand fighting here. Everything he's done has been very good.
Big kick, landed, Killer Keith, boom! Round 2 when we come back.
Left hook.
Left hook.
Hey, the center of the cage, that's ours.
Stay in the middle.
We stay in the middle.
Yes, sir.
Listen, every time we get backed up to the cage, I want you to drop your butt a half inch and sprint back to middle. The center of the cage is ours. We box them up. 1-3 to the outside. Right head kicks there. He's only blocking with 1 hand. Have fun.
He don't want to box with you. Give me one good deep breath. One good one.
Deep breath. On your toes right now.
Be ready, baby. Keith, you understand the cage wrap? Thank you very much. Here we go, Jen. Ready? Ready? Fight!
Round 2. Stots in the red gloves, Lee in the blue gloves.
There you go.
Round 1, John. You had the big kick from Killer Keith, but you had a lot of control from Rafael Stots.
You had a nice kick that landed, but it didn't hurt Rafael Stots, so you give him credit for it landing, but that round goes to Rafael Stots.
Rafael's lone loss was a spinning back fist 15 seconds into a fight back in 2017, 3.5 years ago. He got caught. He has won every other fight. And look at this. Josh has got social media just blowing up.
See, I don't like to take all the glory. John, go ahead and read this for us, please.
Well, if you're looking for Raymond, this card is stacked, and he cannot wait to see the main event. And you know what, Raymond? You are not alone. I cannot wait either.
You know why he tweeted? Because I just talked about a spinning back fist.
Oh, that was a nice kick. Rafael Stots has done a really good job of landing that straight left hand down the pipe. He has set it up, and on the exits, his kicks, he's gone to the body, and it's worked for him so far, Josh.
Yeah, it's working for him. But I still like what Keith Lee's doing. He's mixing it up. He's jabbing to the body, he's jabbing to the head. He's also mixing up the kick. He just tried that little snap kick over the top. Very nice.
One of the things that Keith Lee needs to do, he's got to stop. There you go, getting himself back into that center. He's allowing Rafael to march him down with his back against the cage. That's not where he needs to be.
He probably heard you. That's why he circled back.
I don't know.
Keith's older brother, the Motown phenom, Kevin, 4 years his elder. We talked to Keith about that relationship, and he said, I'm a polar opposite of Kevin. I've taken what he has done and tried to put my own spin on it. I've learned from his mistakes. I've learned from my own mistakes. It's a great way to look at it.
Keith got the advantage out of that exchange there.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot. It landed. Nice right hand to the body by Rafael Stots.
It was, but I also like how you were just mentioned. Keith Lee circled himself off of the fence and put himself back in the center of the cage.
Very similar to the paths of Anthony and Sergio Pettis. Much different fighters. Sergio looked great earlier in his fight. Obviously, Sanchez guys last week, and we asked Stots about the vibe in Milwaukee at Rufus Sport right now, and he said, yeah, you're feeling it. Josh, when everybody's kind of winning and feeling good at the gym, at AKA back in the day, it's great to go there every day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's buzzing, man. It's buzzing. And the other thing as well, I mean, I don't know how it is at Rufus Sports, but at AKA, it was, we couldn't get the media out of our gym. I mean, there was one fight after another, and the lights were always shining, and everyone was just vibing off of it. I mean, you had so many people that were in there. I mean, there was not enough room sometimes. We had to kick people out into another room because there were so many people there.
2 minutes here, Keith. Good pressure. Good work.
This is such a tactical fight. The two of them are exchanging good blows. It's one for the other. No one's really leaving themselves out of position. Nice straight down the middle right there by Keith Lee with the right hand on Stots.
Following our main event, join the Inside College Football crew as they keep you updated on everything happening around the nation and deliver the top headlines of the day. All right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 90 seconds remaining here in round number 2.
Right now, he's starting to keep Keith Lee's back against the cage. You see Lee trying to make moments to get himself out. Rafion is loading up on that big right hook, though.
Kick after those exchanges when he backs
Keith
out.
just had a nice exchange with his back to the fence as well, though. He landed a couple good shots. Look, I learned my lesson last time Keith Lee fought, not to say a lot of bad things. It's just, Keith let me hear about it in the fighter meetings. But he's doing. I feel like he's doing well. He's one step behind a couple times. But otherwise, he's fighting a good fight.
He's fighting a smart fight. You can tell he's thinking, and he understands where he's at and what he needs to do.
Beautiful.
You heard him.
You hear the corner saying you heard him, and you definitely saw that knee land to the body of Stots.
Good. Bicep control there. No knees there. Knees right there, Roth. You got to stay mobile down there. Let's frame it. Good elbow.
Nice elbow.
Again, touch that ear if he goes there. You circle the back, shove and strike.
He needs to keep that wrist control on that right arm there, that left arm.
Oh, that was nice by Stots. Beautiful job of sneaking that hand behind, pulling the feet out.
How that got taken was he was able to lock his hands around the single and lift and scoop and put him down to the ground.
Grab right, yep. There it is. Now back over the top. One's got to be over the top.
Good job, boys. Up we go.
Same stuff. Good. Deep breath. Just keep. You can't throw too many lead hands. Keep playing with them, touching with them. When you go in, commit with the head, a little bit closer with the feet. Sometimes you come in, you get here, you're landing good strikes, good defense, but then you can't follow. All right? So just a little bit taller, but posture's the same. All right? Confident, fearless, and all I do. Tap high, jab to the chest, step to the left, throw the right overhand. If you go 1-3-2, it's a right head kick. Visualize it in your head. Yes, sir. Same side, right head kick. Yes, sir. Cross to the inside ear, make him slip with the shin bone on the ear. Yes, sir.
I love the movement. The movement is beautiful. He moving right into the head kick. No body, though.
5 minutes remain in this bantamweight battle.
Ready?
Stots and Lee. Big John, you gave round 1 to Stots. How about round 2?
Round 2, I have Stots. He was the one that barely got it, but he got it. He just did a little bit better in the work. But Keith Lee is right there, and all he needs to do is exactly what his corner told him. There's certain things that Stots is leaving open. Visualize it in your head, and then execute it.
Eric Nixick and his big brother, the Motown phenom, Kevin Lee, in the corner of Keith Lee for this fight.
In that position, though, that he just threw the jab in the right hand, a little bit of a right hook. He's got to follow up with that head kick like the corner was telling him in between rounds.
11th pro fight for Keith Lee. Never been stopped. In fact, he said never been close to being stopped.
That was a big right hook by Stots and a beautiful left hook return by Keith Lee.
I like that. That inside leg kick just hurt Keith Lee a little bit.
Yep, and he just took another shot on the chin, but he's fighting back.
Oh, nice knee.
He had success with those knees against Sean Bunch. Rafion, he's not dumping his head as much as Bunch was doing in those exchanges.
Keep the left hip to the cage. Keep the left hip to the
Stots
cage.
looks like he's trying to set up that
Your right hand involved.
Japanese necktie or
Not
working
yet.
into that Darce area.
Close. He's thinking about it, but it's not. He doesn't have the angle for it.
Heavy hips. Heavy hips.
Rafael Lovato Jr., as we talked about last week, when Emmanuel Sanchez fought in the quarterfinals, handling the jiu-jitsu at Rufus Sport now.
There you go. Hop over.
Our former middleweight champion.
A little bit of a mistake there.
That was a big mistake. Not a little bit. It was a big mistake that Rafion made. He allowed Lee to get his knee out. He thought he was going to attack the neck, and then it wasn't there for him.
Keep passing.
Sometimes chasing the submission too long will put you in this position here, and that's not a position you want to be in.
Nice elevator.
Keep passing. Elevate your butt. A-frame your butt high. Underhook on that side.
Keith Lee just needs to keep fighting the hand, get the neck free. Now pop his head out. Now get busy. Get to work.
Angles. Get up. Shove that head. Good. Yep. Stay right there.
Fence. There you go. Use the fence. Let's climb.
Yep. Hit that elbow in the armpit for that switch right there. Turn your knees to
You see,
that backside wrist route.
right there, it's like you see Keith Lee looking at that arm. He wants that arm. He's reaching for it. It's just that little bit too far away.
Yeah, elbow in.
What Keith Lee needs to do is to suck him away from the fence. He doesn't want to waste a lot of energy here trying to get the takedown against
Walk down a
Stots.
little bit, drop your level, turn back in.
The biggest part, in my opinion, for right now, Keith Lee, is that exit. He wanted to land something really solid on the exit.
That inside leg kick again, going back to, you see Keith Lee just switch stances.
Hands up.
That jab. That's why range again.
Hands up. Breathe.
You got 2 minutes to work.
Josh, when we do our fighter meetings, Big John has a habit of asking the guys, how's your weight? You know, because it's the day before. The weight cut, Keith Lee wouldn't give an answer, but he did say, lighter than you are, Big John.
He did. Well, that
Let's go, Rob.
Which was very true.
it was lighter for me when I was in the 5th grade.
You interrupt. Good. 1-3 same.
It was a good answer.
But John, Keith's having somewhat of the same problem he had in his last fight. Even though he dominated the fight, he was having a hard time checking the kicks. And I said that, and he got on me in the fighter meetings about it.
But you were right.
A little bit of the same
he's
problem in this
you can tell that he's taking damage to, especially that left leg, which now he has to the rear. He's taking damage to it, and it's affecting him in his movement.
But he's dangerous still. He's dangerous.
Yep. Play with the hands up.
So he got on you a little bit, Josh. He said that Big John is much larger. He was nice to me.
But there was that 1-3 head kick that his corner told him to do between rounds 2 and 3.
Let's go, Super Stots. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Super Stots getting some motivation from his corner. Under a minute on the clock here in this bantamweight battle.
And I am so impressed with the bantamweight division now in Bellator. It is stacked with a bunch of studs, guys that can fight anybody. You don't have to worry about who you put these guys against. They have the ability on the given night to beat anybody. Nice time by Stots.
It was the timing that got that takedown and made it look easy.
Great job by Keith to get back to his feet.
Let's get that takedown.
Tried to grab you all out.
Keep going. Keep doing it. Go again.
The Spaniard owns the belt at 135. Juan Archuleta.
Yep. To the back. Lock your hands.
It's on the neck.
Yep.
There it is. Got nothing. Grab the hands.
15.
15 seconds. Top. Peek out.
Nice sit through by Keith Lee to get himself out.
Nice knee on that exchange.
Fun fight, just as you hope it would be, John and Josh.
There was a big flurry by Stots. You see him land that beautiful straight left hand. Bunch of shots back and forth. The kick to the body. You see Lee trying to just get a little bit of a reset off of it. There were moments for both guys in this fight. Keith Lee did a beautiful job at times of getting himself off of the cage to open up. But overall, Rafion Stots was able to keep the fight where he wanted.
Stots and Lee go the distance. Our official decision is coming up next.
Bantamweight. Y'all see what the fuck going on? Better get your shit together. Back up moves to another division. Do something. You're not playing with y'all no more.
Yeah, you should be.
Get it together. Me and McGregor, get it together.
Yes, Lord.
Look back.
I'm coming home.
Enough time to go home.
Everything I had. That's hard work. Sacrifice.
Good dog, bro. Good dog. Good shit. Good dog. Good shit. I know you know how to respect. Let's stand your face. You already know that. We gotta train on sometime. That's crazy. We'll be all in line.
Once again, a huge thank you to the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare. They handle all of our COVID-19 testing and screening. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. This fight goes to the judges' scorecards. They have rendered their decision. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. All three, Michael Bell, Brian Miner, Doug Crosby, seat exactly the same, 30-27. All have it for the win by unanimous decision, Rafian Stots.
That vibe is riding high. High tide raises all ships. The Stots ship wins by unanimous decision. All right, let's check in with Jen and Chael for the first time.
Well, thanks, Goldie. Hey, Chael, another big night of fights. That's a great way to kick it off there. We said it would be the battle of the wills between these two. Very technical fight. It was a good one to watch.
And speed. These guys were so fast. One thing about 135, Jen, these guys don't wear out. They're going to fight as hard in the 14 minutes as the first. I thought Stots did a good job with the kicks. He controlled the range, and he did not give up the takedown.
That's right. All right, well, that's a great matchup to lead into what we've got coming up next. We've got Bobby Lee. He's making his Bellator debut. He's taking on the undefeated Joey Davis. Now, Joey Davis, we've talked about, he's a phenomenal wrestler, right? In college, he went undefeated, one of only 3 guys to do that in all of the NCAA. He's got 5 knockouts in the first round, Chael. The reason why I mention that is because it seems like with these young fighters, they don't like to use their wrestling. These guys with these great wrestling pedigree, they like to keep the fight on the feet. Why is that, Chael?
Can I tell you a quick story? I used to train with an athlete named DeAnthony Thomas, and he went on to get drafted and play for the Chiefs. I got to tell you, when I was training with him, he'd always tell me, I got a cousin, and my cousin's going to be the champion. He's going to go into Bellator. He's going to be undefeated. I said, well, who's your cousin? I followed amateur wrestling. He said, guy's a 4-time national champion. His name is Joey Davis. This is 3 years ago this happened. I've never met Joey Davis. I know his cousin, and now look at him. He's on fire. He's everything that his NFL cousin said that he was.
Well, he is on fire. He's 7-0. We talked about the 5 knockouts in the first round. Tonight, he said he actually wants to maybe show off his submission skills. He's trying to get a submission win. Now, his opponent, Bobby Lee, we talked to him. He's a pressure guy. He's a brawler. He's going to be the guy big swinging for the fences, trying to knock out Joey Davis. What does he need to do to get a win in his debut tonight?
All right, before Joey Davis can get the submission, Jen, he must get position, which means get that takedown and Lee is very confident that he will not be taken down. And I will tell you, Lee can wrestle himself. Can he hold up for 15 minutes? I think that's what we're about to find out.
How confident he is. He was very confident in our fighter meetings. All right, that fight.
And now we feature the welterweights. One making a Bellator debut, one putting his undefeated record on the line. Bobby Lee versus Joey Davis. Your first fighter. Now set to make his way to the cage, Bobby Lee.
Thank you.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Joey Black Eyes Davis.
Here inside the Bellator cage. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight. 26-year-old Davis against 24-year-old Lee. And look at that reach, Big John.
That's only 7 inches, Mike.
Yep.
Only 7.
Let's see if Bobby Lee can get inside. Michael C. Williams.
From Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator MMA live on CBS Sports Network. Moves now to the welterweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Introducing the blue corner first. At 5'9", weighing in 170 pounds even, making his Bellator debut. He enters with 12 professional victories, 4 losses, fighting out of Becker, Minnesota, Bobby Lee. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'11", weighing in 168.8 pounds, undefeated as a professional. 7 wins, no defeats. From Compton, California, Joey Black Eyes Davis. In charge, your referee, Kerry Hatley.
Kerry Hatley, our referee for this welterweight fight. 7-0, Joey Davis facing off with Bobby Lee, who earlier this week said, I can hardly contain my excitement. I'm bursting out of my skin with energy. And here we go. Tonight's clock presented by Geico. Red gloves for Joey Davis, blue gloves for Bobby Lee. Trained by the veteran, Brock Larson. A Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under someone you know very well, Josh, Dave Camarillo.
Dave's an outstanding coach. Was the person who gave me my black belt. And when it comes to the MMA Jiu-Jitsu, he's right on point with it. Absolutely phenomenal coach.
Nice job by Joey Davis. Look, both these guys come from a wrestling background. It's just that
there's a difference. There's levels to wrestling.
You know, and the difference is this. Joey Davis is a 50-year-old bottle of scotch. He is smooth and he is good. And Bobby Lee comes at you like a mason jar full of moonshine. He is tough, and sometimes he's got a big, brutal kick.
Bobby Lee talking about his early days in wrestling. He said, I won 2 matches my first season, had a 20-match losing streak, and then he said, maybe don't tell Joey. He's much better now.
John, that was so smooth.
Just see, and that's my whole point. Joey Davis now is so relaxed in the fight, and now his wrestling shines because he doesn't really try to go to it a lot, but when he does, he's so technically proficient and good, it's scary to watch.
What I'm seeing is the relaxation on the feet. You know, Lee was throwing stuff at him, and he just kind of moved his leg out of the way, came right back, and got back into the pocket right away, forcing the fight. And this is the biggest thing that I was actually looking forward to is his ground and pound is some of the best right now in the game. And being so young, undefeated, he's ready for that next step, so he says. And if he gets past Lee, I think he is. I think he's ready for the next step.
Kind of like the Kobe Bryant shorts on
Isn't that great?
Joey Davis here. Those are awesome. But yet you're exactly right. What we've seen lately out of Joey Davis is when he does go to the ground, stand by for when he starts to isolate, bring his knee over an arm or something. The punches and elbows that he brings are powerful.
Good job. Take your time.
Pretty sure AJ's going to be representing, giving Kobe some love as well. He talked about it in the pre-fight interview. Joey Davis on top, midway point of round number 1.
Frame in the face then. Frame in the face. Come up inside. There you go.
We talked about how Bobby Lee needs to win this fight. He needs to win it on the feet. He needs to win by putting a lot of pressure and trying to get Joey Davis to his back. I don't know how likely that was going to be to get Joey to his back, but being in his grill, making him fight a kind of a careless fight or a sloppy fight, a dirty fight. Yeah. One of those dirty, grimy type fights. You just see right there the type of power he possesses from the ground and pound position to positions you don't normally generate a lot of power.
Oh, that was a big right hand.
Oh, that one hurt him.
This is what we're talking about. Look at the power he has in these shots.
That one shot folded Bobby Lee.
John, hard pass, please. I'll take a hard pass on getting back in that cage.
Oh, we got to put her back in the fence.
Brock Larson, 52 fights, 42 wins, 27 by submission. Of course, Joey Davis, part of Team Body Shop. His teammate in our main event in the semifinals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix.
And like Josh was talking about levels to this, this is the game that Bobby Lee has played against most of his opponents. He's been that guy that's been able to put them on their back and do a lot of good work in that ground and pound position. Whereas right now, it's the wrestling difference of Joey and Bob. It's Joey Davis is just levels above.
It's not even so much the wrestling, John, it's the technique of the position that he's in. Watch what he did earlier as he grabbed the wrist and he pulled it out. Little details like that people sometimes forget. You know, they just try to push their weight onto them and collapse them instead of just breaking their wrist down. This is why he went undefeated in wrestling for 4 years. This is why he was a 4-time national champ. This is why, is because he pays attention to the small details. And it's showing right here. And he just possesses an extreme amount of power, by the way.
That kind of helps.
Oh, 133-0.
20 seconds, Bobby, 20 seconds. Nice.
Notre Dame College in Ohio and Cleveland. Coach Cale Sanderson, 159-0. Marcus Levesser, 155-0 at Augsburg College in Minnesota, where Bobby Lee's from.
Stop. Easy up. Good job, man. Good job.
Deep breath, deep breath. Okay. He's not engaged in that wrestling.
Yes, sir. I fucked up.
Okay, if he's gonna stay in our guard and he's happy being in our guard, just we can, if we can't wall walk, we can't get there, just lock him up, tie him up, and work for Kimuras. If he's on the fence and we can hit that arm lock, that's fine. But otherwise, keep your distance, like you're doing. The majority of it, we were winning the striking exchanges. We hit him, he didn't hit us. Okay. So if we're gonna clinch, let's throw knees. No takedowns, no changing levels.
That was stupid.
No, that's good.
All right, yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
Round 2, man.
Look at the work of Joey Davis here. Look at the shots landing. That lands against the side of the head. Watch this. Boom.
All right, round 2, man.
You can
round
see
2,
that drops. Bobby Lee, while he's on the ground, knocks him down.
It actually lifted him up off the ground, and just he went full body lift right after that.
Can't stop the second.
That was a big round for Joey Davis, and he did a lot of damage. And Big John, I was just going to ask you, you gave him a 10-8.
I did give him a 10-8. Look, he damaged him. He almost had him out of the fight. He controlled every moment of the round and did damage. Just a beautiful job by Joey Davis. You heard Bobby Lee's corner tell him no more takedowns. He goes, yeah, that was a mistake. And then he goes right back to it. He's got to be careful with that.
It's heavy on this side.
It's Coach Brock Larson. They have been together since Bobby was 16 years old. 2012, he's 24 now. I've been preparing for this moment my entire life. And as I said before the fight, this is a baptism by fire when you make your Bellator debut against Joey Davis.
This is a position right here where, Bobby Lee's holding onto a Kimura grip here, Josh, but he's not in the position to actually get that arm out with where he's at. And he should actually let go of this and get himself to a better position.
Like he just did. Guys, this Joey Davis, not stylistically or anything, but he reminds me a lot of Fedor Emelianenko and Gegard Mousasi. He's expressionless when he's doing these things. He shot in on the double, got the takedown smoothly. Bobby Lee's attacking the Kimura. He's got no facial expression whatsoever. Just pay attention to his reactions on things. He sees everything. Matrix, almost. I mean, and I know it's a lot to say. Being so young, 26 years old.
You just called him Neo.
I just called him Neo. It's so smooth like black ice.
That was good.
Black ice is dangerous.
Yes. Oh. And when we talked to him, guys, he did say, you guys asked him, how close do you feel like we are to a title shot? He said, I'm there right now. I'm ready.
Right there, Josh and I both. Hands went up in the air.
I saw you.
It was the way what Joey does. All of a sudden, drop left, boom, in, take down. It's just how smooth he does things now that he understands the full game of MMA. Because I did his very first MMA professional fight, and he was nothing but a wrestler. And so everything was wrestling, and he didn't know what to do with it. Now he's comfortable everywhere. Totally in control of the fight.
I like to see that he is so relaxed on the feet, as well as not forgetting the fact that he's a wrestler. He's got to get his body between the fence and Bobby Lee. If he can do that, then he can go ahead and start to finish that choke from that position.
I mean, Joey Davis said the first fight, the one in which, John, you reffed, he said, it scared me. He said, I needed to become more vicious. It was a different game. All of a sudden, I wasn't in a singlet, and guys could punch me in the face. He has adjusted, and he has done so quickly. Antonio took all of the team up to Big Bear for a little altitude training and some solitude. AJ talked a lot to us about it. And Joey put it quite simply. He said, it was rough.
Keep that pressure. Keep that pressure. Now go back forward.
Let's get back up. Let's get back up.
Build the base. Let's get back up. Bobby, stand the pressure.
Come up.
Goldie, I can remember talking to his coach, Antonio McKee, after that very first professional win he had, where he had to work hard, and he was, you know, he was gasping at the end of it. It's exactly what his coach, Antonio, wanted. He goes, he needed to learn that he needed to learn. Yes. And that's what he's done from that point forward, and this is what we're seeing.
Come on, man. Okay.
I love it.
He said he's worked the most during this long layoff on his conditioning, preparing like it is a 5-round fight, because he feels like he's pretty close to a 5-round fight and a shot at the top. Sean Merriman checking in.
I'll share it with you, Goldie. You share it with us?
Well, I will tell you that Joey has had a lot of experience, and he was a model for Lights Out Sean Merriman, the only fighter. He interned with LeBron James, been around winners. He was in the Snoop Dogg Youth Football League.
Why did we allow Goldie to read that?
Because I bring more than a fork and a knife to the dinner table, baby.
John, this round's going to end exactly how the first round ended, with Joey on top doing work.
Oh, thank you, Sean Merriman. Check your Venmo.
Stop.
Ready. Punch till you get tired. All right.
Quality coaching.
Quality coaching.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, he would spend his whole camp at Big Bear with AJ and Baby Slice. And we saw earlier, I know Baby Slice didn't get the performance that he wanted, but he wasn't breathing heavy like we normally see him. And Joey looks like he's not breathing at all right now.
Nice. Dude, that beautiful, straight, hard jab.
Yes. There we go.
Still though, 4.5 left, and we know that Bobby Lee is a gamer, and Bobby Lee knows he needs to finish Joey Davis if he's going to get his arm raised in his Bellator debut.
No doubt about it, but you got to love Bobby Lee. He's still in there. He's still working hard. He's still trying after taking a lot of abuse. There is no give up in it.
You can deal with the winters in Minnesota, especially up in the Brainerd area like he is. You're all right. It's cold.
There you go. Good.
Hands
There
up.
we go.
John, that's like next, that right there to me is next level. Bobby Lee pressed into him, and Joey just circled his back off the fence, came back to the center, shot in on a double, drove him to the fence, and snatched the legs out from underneath it. Now look at the wrist control. He's trying to feed the arm behind the back. This is where he's going to do work.
When you watch that ticket, it's like a tsunami. It's not that it's that big. It just keeps flowing, and the level stays high, and all of a sudden you're drowning, and that's what's happening to Bobby Lee.
That Jordan Burroughs. He can shoot from far away, but the explosiveness gets him in. As soon as they touch the legs, they just have no choice or no other option but to finish.
Finished it with just that little grab of the ankle and made sure that the takedown was complete.
Keep your hooks going. Keep your hooks going.
Josh Koscheck used to get takedowns from about the third row of the stance. He'd start from there.
And then what he would do is he'd get in on the single and he'd run it to the double and he'd run it into the fifth row of the other side of the arena.
Very well put.
He was so explosive. I trained with him for years. He had one of the best flares I'd ever trained against. He was the best.
Butterfly with the left leg. With the left leg
So
inside.
Bobby, we gotta be active. We gotta be active. We gotta move.
We got 2.5 minutes. Show us something. Let's go, baby.
Brock Larson.
Go.
Get that right leg defense.
Just past the midway point, third and final round. All Joey Davis
And then you stand up.
as he looks to move to 8-0.
Get that right leg clean up. Stand up. Go.
But this is how I feel about this fight. Bobby Lee is a tough opponent.
Keep it there. Stay there.
Joey
Stay
Davis is
there. Keep doing that.
outclassing him at this
All right,
moment.
keep doing
But
that.
these are the rounds that he needs before he gets to that next MVP or that Douglas Lima or into that upper echelon of fighters.
You can see the frustration right now in Bobby Lee because he's working so hard to try to free that arm that is trapped. So frustrating when you can't.
Now let's start to build our base back up.
Yeah, because you only have one way to turn. You want to go to your knees, but you can't. If you turn the other way, you're giving up the shots to the head.
Bobby, get the butterfly hook. Get that left butterfly hook.
All right, let's go.
Bobby Lee said, I appreciate
Hey,
an
just trap the
intense
left leg,
mindset,
Put your left leg
which
inside.
Joey Davis
Let's go, Bobby. Get a minute and a half.
obviously
On
has.
top.
Let's get
Put it
that
on
wrist
top.
then. Wrist
Bobby
fight,
just
hand
said,
fight.
let's go, let's go. He was motivating himself.
Yep.
Get hands.
Here's the thing, Bobby Lee is a really good fighter. Extremely tough, very talented, good on top, good on bottom. He's well-rounded.
Just tough.
Joey Davis is making him look like he's not. And that's unfortunate because Bobby Lee is such a good fighter. But Joey Davis has now just excelled to that next level, and it's coming out tonight against Bobby Lee.
Well, the fact that Bobby Lee makes his Bellator debut against a fighter the caliber of Joey Davis is a statement about Bobby Lee.
Up.
Hip hands. Bobby, gotta scoot. Let's go. Commit to it. Pull that left leg out. Pull that left
First
leg out.
fight, the one John talked about,
Get that left
wins
leg
the
out, get the
distance,
left.
unanimous
Let's go.
decision win.
Get crossface
The
now,
only other
crossface.
time
Get
Joey
off the
Davis
head.
has gone to the scorecards, it was
Get off the head,
30-26 on
30
all
seconds,
three
Bobby, let's go.
cards. Under 30
Let's go, Ed. Push
seconds
the head, elbow.
remain in this one.
Should be the same tonight.
That was kind of what I was leading to.
Work.
Throwing it right to your big brain, Big John.
Go ahead. Hit. Submission now.
Watch your eyes.
Let's go.
Stop.
Frustrating for Bobby Lee. Beautiful performance from Joey Davis. Set to move to 8-0.
It's harder than this thing. They do us right in the moment. I heard you get your back from us. He was, guess what? He was just as strong as I think he was. I only landed like one cap piece that I wanted to.
Spectacular performance by Joey Davis. The numbers are lopsided. Bobby Lee, during our break, said he was just as strong as I thought he was going to be. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the score, totals will go to your judges. Your first judge, Brian Miner, 30-26. Judges Dave Torelli, Michael Bell, both have it the same, 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Joey Black Eyes Davis.
Joey Davis, 8-0, all of his wins inside the Bellator cage. This entire week, the mercenary, A.J. McKee, is as relaxed as he's ever been. Caldwell is 9-0 at 145, 6 of those wins here in Bellator. So what does he need to do to advance to the finals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix?
All right, Caldwell versus McKee. First off, it's not what you think. You've got McKee, who's a proven fighter. Caldwell is a proven competitor. For some reason, being the underdog and being dismissed is when Caldwell is at his best. Oh, my God! Guys, don't forget, there's bad blood here. Caldwell called out A.J. McKee. They've had to be separated at weigh-ins. They've been in hotel lobbies, and they had to be separated by security. These two just can't get it right. We have the former bantamweight champion of the world in Darrion Caldwell taking on the mercenary, A.J. McKee.
I'm
Bellator MMA is back at the Mohegan Sun Arena for our 4th straight week of fight action. Now following our main event, join the Inside College Football crew as they keep you updated on everything happening around the nation and deliver you all of the top headlines of the day. That's Inside College Football right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Welcome back into the Fight Desk. Jen Brown alongside Chael Sonnen. And Chael, we started with 16 of the best featherweights in the world. We are now down to 4. Last week we saw Patricio Pitbull, Emmanuel Sanchez. They're moving on into the semis tonight. We find out who moves on to the finals. All right, let's start with Darian Caldwell. Phenomenal wrestling background. This guy is so good on the ground. Why is that?
NCAA National Wrestling Champion, and Jen, he can scramble. You want to know why? It's the in-betweens. The great wrestlers can do in-betweens. Listen, as we take a look at some of Caldwell's finest work over the years, I've requested that it was all takedowns, but I want to tell you why, Jen. Not only is he great at it, and it's what I would call his bread and butter, it's what he needs to do tonight. Close the distance, get to the body or the legs, and get it to the canvas. And when you talk about McKee, we're talking about somebody who can do it all. He wrestled a little bit as a kid, but I would call him an all-around mixed martial artist. A second-generation guy. His pops is a tough guy. His dad is his coach and his cornerman tonight. I bring that up because think of the Mayweathers. Think of how well that worked out for Floyd Mayweather when you could go out there and do things. You wanted to work out, all you had to do is ask the guy across the hall, look, McKee will do it with his hands. He will put you to sleep. You want to go to the ground with him? Don't think you're out of the woods. You're out of the frying pan and into the fire because he will submit you there as well. His jiu-jitsu, and I'm talking about McKee, Jen, his jiu-jitsu is highly underrated. This guy is a very high-level black belt. You're never in a position with McKee where you can exhale. You exhale, he will finish you.
He said he has no problem going to the ground with Darian Caldwell. That is our main event coming up. At first, we've got our co-main coming your way. It's 2 former champs from other organizations. That's right. We got Benson Henderson. He's taking on Jason Jackson. Chael, what do you like about this one?
Okay, Benson Henderson needs to reestablish himself. He was in there with Michael Chandler in a main event spot, but it was at 155 pounds. I like the idea, and I'm personalizing this. I like the idea a little later in your career, not having to beat the scale, not having to beat yourself up. I like that he's at 170, but he has something to prove, and Jackson is just the guy.
Jackson is a tough opponent. I can't wait. This is going to be a great one. All right, up next, Benson Henderson moves up to 170 on short notice and looks to move back into the win column. Well, Jason Jackson has won 9 of his last 11 fights and wants to put the welterweight division on notice. That fight coming up after the break.
Endless gratitude to our gracious partners here at the Mohegan Sun Arena. They have helped us create a safe zone for all. 10 shows in 17 weeks, and one more in December for Bellator Gold. Short notice 170 doesn't matter. Bellator called, Benson Henderson answered. Jason Jackson said, I'm fighting the guy with the toothpick in his mouth, and I'm gonna win.
And now, ready to make his way to the cage, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson.
This is absolutely the biggest opportunity of my career. Nobody knows who I am. Everybody knows who Benson Henderson is. They don't even have to follow MMA, he said. Much like I said a moment ago, Benson's a household name. He's the guy with the big thighs, the hair, and the toothpick. I've never had an opportunity like this. He's a humble man. Josh and John, as you and I talked about earlier, Josh, you interviewed him before or after the weigh-ins, and humble, but once he steps through that gate, he's ready to beat Benson Henderson.
It all goes out the door, he said, and he's gonna be here tonight to prove it.
Jason Jackson.
To find the answer to all the questions, yeah.
Now making his way to the cage, smooth Benson Henderson.
The smooth one told Bellator he was ready to go if they needed someone on short notice at 155 or 170. A couple weeks later, they hit him up, offered him the fight, gave him an opportunity to get rid of that sour taste that occurred at Bellator 243 August 7th. His answer was, yes, please. Smooth Benson Henderson, fighting for the 4th time in his career at 170 pounds. Our tale of the tape for our co-main event of the evening. Henderson, 7 years the elder of Jackson, who is much taller and will have an 8.5-inch reach advantage. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now features tonight's co-main event 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. And now live on CBS Sports Network, we introduce the Blue Corner. At 6'1", weighing in 170 pounds even. As a professional, 12 wins, 4 losses by way of Jamaica. He fights out of Hollywood, Florida, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'9", weighing in 170 pounds, the former 2-time lightweight world champion brings 28 professional victories, 9 defeats. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, Smooth Benson Henderson. And the referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran, our referee. Benson Henderson at 170 on a month's notice against Jason Jackson. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
First round. Ready to fight? You ready to fight? Go.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Henderson, the southpaw. He is in the red gloves. Jackson in the blue gloves with that huge reach advantage.
Jason Jackson just a little bit pumped up coming out in this fight. Normally he's smooth and relaxed and calm. He wants to get after it.
Well, John, he knows that Benson normally has a hard time with a fast start. So jump on him and make him fight early. If you can catch him early, you can get him out of there.
And the irony of that is Benson got off to a fast start in his last fight, but got caught. He said, you know what? You stay in this game long enough, it's going to happen.
Well, he's absolutely right. But he did get off to a very good start at the end. So Michael Chandler was doing good things. And it was just that little switch up that Chandler did, switching to a southpaw stance. He didn't see the shot, landed behind the ear. It can happen anytime.
He said, I wasn't expecting it, and it got me, and I won't let that happen again. The one constant thing in life is change.
Gravity. Blackjack body, blackjack salute.
Eddie Alvarez watching the fights. Talking about his buddy Jason Jackson.
Eddie used to train with Jason Jackson when he was part of the Brazilians, which is now basically Hard Knocks 365, which is now Sanford MMA. But Jason Jackson, when he's walking out here and you're saying that he says, nobody knows me. Well, I've known him for a long time, and I can tell you that now he is just an outstanding fighter. He's gotten better and better, and he is a handful in the cage.
Well, he trains with a lot of top-level wrestlers. He trains with Logan Sterling, who we just saw fight last week against Yaroslav Amosov, who's 25-0. Logan Sterling was 11-0 at the time before that fight.
Mara Usman.
And then they're coached by Greg Jones. You also have Gilbert Burns, who's a top-level jiu-jitsu guy. So he's gonna, no matter what Benson does, he's already seen all of these things from his training partners.
Right there, that says a lot about Jason Jackson. We talked about his defensive wrestling. Right there, respond. Do not accept. Make him pay for him coming in, landing that shot. I want you to have something in return.
Well, here's the thing with Benson Henderson. He's got heavy, hard leg kicks, and everyone knows that. So what happens when he fights people, they usually succumb to that leg kick. They just take it and don't return back. Jason Jackson right now is proving that he's not afraid of those leg kicks.
Benson has talked about how diligently he has worked on his striking game, and he wants to showcase it.
Yeah, he talked about a lot of the work that he did with Rob Emerson. Yep. Very happy with that. And he says, I just need to bring it to the cage now.
It will always surprise me how he can fight with his hairline. Drives me absolutely crazy.
Move their shoulders and move their head.
Well, Clay Guida took it to a whole nother level. Benson puts something around it most of the time. Good exchange.
I mean, I want to remind people, though, Benson's fought, what, 3 times at welterweight?
3 times at welterweight.
Both times in the UFC, he's got wins over the welterweight fighters there. Came over to the Bellator, and he lost to Korshkov badly. And here he is now fighting.
I know that's not nice to say, but it wasn't a really close fight.
But Benson can admit that as well to himself.
And it was very similar to what we're seeing here. It's the length that he had to deal with against Korshkov. He's got that same problem in dealing with Jason Jackson.
Yeah, but the 2 wins that he had in the UFC at 170, one was against Brandon Thatch and the other one against Jorge Masvidal. That's true. That was a nice head kick. He landed a little bit with the knee. Should have followed up with something right after that, after it landed.
Oh, it was a big left hook by Jason Jackson.
Big John.
The one thing that you're seeing right now, and you know, Josh, when you're able to control the distance like Jackson is doing right now, nice knee on the exit, it is very difficult when you've got that reach advantage that he has. Benson has got to figure out a way to get into him without getting damaged.
Yeah, Ben's got to be careful because he's dipping his head every time to make up that reach advantage by trying to throw the loopy overhand right and left.
Michael Chandler stopped Benson Henderson. He was the first man to stop him in nearly 6 years.
Ivy off of that.
30 seconds on the clock, round 1. Smooth one, tough to finish. Good body shot from Henderson.
50 seconds.
One of the things I really like what I'm seeing out of Jason Jackson is he's returning. Anytime he gets hit, he returns with something.
That round.
Your lordship, talking yachts and some more. I used to run the block, now I'm corporate. Hopping out, you know it's sun when the doors lift.
Watch that right kick. You know that right kick's coming when you're against the fence.
They watch me like the chip courtside at the bunker. Flow only getting tougher. She begging me to cover. Look the sweet shit.
When those kicks are coming, I need you to feint. Viking it up, keep going, strike out of it, high guard out of your clinches, okay? Yes, the right high kick is the way we're just standing. Yeah. Got it?
Yeah, great elbow at the end, man. We've seen it all. You block all of his shots. He's looking for that right kick when you're against the fence. Just be aware of that.
Bellator's only flyweight world champion looks to defend her title for the 5th time when unbeaten Alimale McFarland fights unbeaten Brazilian Juliana Velasquez. That is Thursday, December 10th, 10 East, 7 West. Live right here, CBS Sports Network. Round 2. John Crouch, while we were in commercial break, said the most important thing for Benson to do in the exchanges when he comes out, Josh, guard up. Keep that guard up, because those kicks and the returns, as John talked about, are coming from Jason Jackson.
Yeah, I've shared the cage with Benson. He's not a fast guy. He doesn't hit extremely hard. His leg kicks are hard, and they're heavy, but they're not fast either. So the fact that that's how Jason Jackson's able to return. He's catching them, and then he's coming right back after.
And the one thing that you're actually, when you see a guy catching that kick like that, means he sees it.
Still heavy, though.
Nice return.
Oh, it's like Jason said, the toothpick and the big legs. And we've said it many times with Benson. Looks like he would be a fullback or tailback in the NFL with that low frame and the power.
Well, before I fought Benson Henderson, everyone kept telling me how big he was. I got in there when I saw him at the weigh-ins, and I'm like, you're not a big guy. He's physically not. He's got big legs. He's got big calves. He's got a small waist and kind of bigger shoulders. But physically, he's not a big guy. He's not a strong guy either. He's got good technique, as you're seeing right here. He's good at the entry, but the strength of Jason Jackson is overpowering Benson.
That was a very nice reverse of that takedown. Benson's the one that initiated. Jackson's the one that flipped him through. Ends up in the top position. Benson needs to open a guard here and attack Jason Jackson. Do not stay on your back in this position and just accept the shots, and you've got to either get yourself out or go after the submissions.
Well, what Jason's, you can see that he's improved in his wrestling because Benson's shooting with the head on the outside. So what Jason's doing is pushing on the head and then butt dragging him by and sitting to his hip and able to get to the back. And then Benson has to abandon it to try to get back to his feet, which he wasn't able to in this exchange.
Benson Henderson, a Brazilian
step over by Jackson.
Sorry, Mike. No problem. Under John Crouch, which just gives more credence to Jason Jackson and what he's doing right now.
See, this is what I'm talking about, where Jason Jackson has improved, because it used to be when Jason would hit the ground with anybody, he was just looking to get back to his feet. He would not engage on the ground because he was worried about it. Now he's feeling comfortable, and it's exactly what Josh was talking about. His work with Gilbert Burns, who is unbelievably good on the ground, has now given him a confidence he never had before.
Yeah, Gilbert's not bad. He's phenomenal.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
He's probably watching, by the way.
Iron sharpens iron.
Up here, man, up. Up right here, get up here underneath.
I mean, you talk to anybody out of that camp, though, they talk about Gilbert Burns' work ethic, but they also talk about the fact that he's
got a front kick if he wants to go with it. He needs to be careful about where he's at. Nice job of saying, no, it's not there. Let me take the back.
That was a nice transition by Benson, though, to continue to roll and turn his chin to get out.
Yes.
Benson has not been submitted since his second fight against Anthony Pettis in August of 2013. 7 years ago. 90 seconds on the clock.
We wouldn't have seen that type of transition from Jason Jackson attacking the neck like that if it wasn't for the guys that he trains with and has him in Sanford every day.
Henry Hu, Tommy Barzini, Ray Jones, and a ton of great fighters.
You're talking every day that Jason Jackson is working out. He's training with guys that are killers.
That was a nice job by Benson to hit that little peek out, coming out on the double now. He's sucking his hips away from the fence. He's got a minute to do work, John.
Yeah, but with Jason's back, he's got to get his back off of the cage.
He's not on you.
That was a little bit of a missed opportunity right there by Benson, not to get his hooks in and control the position better. This is not where he wants to be. He wants to try to mat return him, lift, put him back down on the ground.
It's Grammy roll through. Look at Jason Jackson. He's a ground fighter now.
20 seconds.
I am loving what I'm seeing from Jason Jackson.
Cut the arm back. Get that leg free first.
Oh, nice knee.
Ben's got to get that underhook high. Now he's going to start trying to elevate that knee to drop the knee into the body there as well.
Spectacular performance through 10 minutes by Jason Jackson.
Don't play around on the floor. You beat him on the floor now already, okay? You showed that. We don't need to do that. You understand?
Stay sharp, get focused, you control the pace of the fight all the time. Understand?
Don't get caught in some stupid shit. Don't play around with it.
Please, Jason. All the way back, Will. All the way back. All the way back. Tuck in your strength. Man, you gotta love Henry Hoops. I loved it. He said, don't play around on the floor. That's not what he was saying. I know. I was cleaning it up, John. All right, you already did that. Don't play around on the floor.
Go follow it. Let's go. Yeah.
Stand up. Fight.
Go.
It was a little bit late.
Keep bumping at the chest. It's working. Simple stuff.
Benson behind on the scorecard.
Oh, nice job. Again, hide those kicks behind the hands. That's when it works. That was a beautiful execution by Jason Jackson.
Nice knee. And now your hands to your kicks. Let's go.
Benson Henderson is just tough as nails, man. He has got no quit in him. He is always searching for a way to come out with a beautiful body shot by Benson.
38th professional fight for Benson Henderson, who turned 37 on Monday. He's been stopped only 4 times.
Nice job on elevating the leg and then stepping between.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that he let go of his hands on the legs when he did, though. Allowing Jackson to swing his leg in so he could at least attempt to stand up.
What he did, John, was he let go of the legs and he elevated the one that he was going to circle to that side on, so that Jason Jackson had no choice but to go to his knees to give Benson his back. Nice reversal though by Jason Jackson. Oh,
nope.
Physical strength though of Jason Jackson.
Especially when you've got a guy that's got long arms like that and you're trying for that, what is a Khmer that ends up into a straight arm lock, very difficult to make it work.
John and Josh, you guys have both talked about length obviously makes a difference on the feet, but it can make a big difference on the ground as well.
It definitely can. When you're working with a guy that's got what we call long levers, it sometimes what you normally are able to pull up, you can't based upon the length of that arm.
Now walk that Darce there.
He's got that. He just let go of it. Didn't feel it was right.
Oh, he was told not to play around on the floor.
In a much more colorful way.
Yes. And when you talk about leg kicks, you don't ever want to get kicked by Henry Hooper.
Stay heavy. Good shoulder pressure. On the leg. Get ready for the dive.
Benson's going to have to figure a way out of the position because, in my opinion, he's behind in the fight. It's not that he hasn't been fighting well. He has. But he's got to do something here to get to a position where he can make a big statement against Jason, which he just tried.
Henry just said the same thing. Don't play with him there. 2 minutes.
Put your punches together, Jason. Make your feet work. Don't stand still. Don't stand still.
I like what you're hearing. You saw Jason Jackson almost threw that kick when he was on the ground, but Make your feet work. That is great advice by Henry Hoof in that stand-up.
The length of Jason Jackson has Benson missing on those kicks by a big distance, and he's slipping because of it, John.
Exactly, and it's because he's trying to overextend.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. Look at you there, Goldie, knowing about that overextension.
Wow, you and Josh have talked. A lot of things, but we won't talk about that. Jason Jackson said this is the biggest opportunity in my life
You got a minute there. Elbows.
to go against a champion from 2 different organizations.
We gotta go, champ. We gotta go.
Mixed martial arts truly known around the world. Man, is he doing a nice job.
When you can compete against a guy that has done everything that Benson Henderson, we're talking about a rare competitor here. To have that opportunity to get in the cage and to execute against him, that's a special moment.
You know what surprises me the most out of him, by him, John, is that it doesn't matter who he fights, how much punishment he takes, he never leaves the cage with a mark on his face.
He doesn't.
Cut the arm back. Cut the arm back.
It's the hair.
Now he's just built to something that we have no idea what it is. There's just differences, and he's got that. Yep. Wants the attack on the leg. That's a nice move by Benson. That was a Hail Mary right there. Yeah, that was a Hail Mary.
Oh, Henry, that's what you meant.
Our co-main event goes the distance. And our official decision right here on CBS Sports Network is coming up next.
I want to come talk to you about that. I want to be a fan for a while. Oh, it's all good, man. You come for the map. Absolutely. Take that. Can't stop the maker. How is it? You know, fight. Tell her what happened. Tell us your uncle said you there, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, man, your job is to do your best. Oh, happy that's all over. Yeah, man. Wouldn't lose that loss. Yes, man. Good job. Good job.
I noticed that one time. I wanted you to improve with this. I knew you felt and breaking, so you just need to check it.
Take a look at the final numbers. The fight goes the distance. 43 strikes landed, 20 of those punches. Benson landed some kicks. They both had 3 takedowns. In the end, it's in the hands of the judges and in the voice of the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges' scorecards from cage side. Dave Peabody, Michael Bell, Doug Crosby, all seen exactly the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Jason, the ass-kicking machine Jackson.
Victor, thank you, Jaja.
Congratulations to Jason Jackson. And thank you, Benson Henderson, for taking this fight on short notice.
Respect, bro.
Main event still to come. Darian Caldwell is an NCAA champ. So that tells you all you need to know. When Big John asked AJ about facing a superior wrestler, he responded, "It's MMA, McCarthy. You know that. Once I hit him, and I'll hit him hard, he will get desperate. And soon after that, I will break him."
All right, AJ McKee, look, what can you say about this guy? I mean, there are people that believe he's the best fighter in MMA. Numbers don't lie. He is one of the most impressive win-loss records in the sport, period. He's never lost a round. I've never seen him lose a complete minute of fighting.
The mercenary claims another victim.
He's just very good everywhere. There's no one in this bracket that AJ can't beat. Caldwell has begged Scott Coker, let me fight AJ McKee. I think it caught McKee off guard. I think McKee's kind of looking around, what did I do? And all of a sudden, it started to piss him off. And McKee goes, you want to fight me? Be careful what you ask for, because you're going to get it. Oh, and by the way, he's got the best backflip in the game.
close out the left side of the bracket and see who will advance to the finals and be one step closer to the $1 million prize and the belt. Welcome back into the Fight Desk. Jen Brown here alongside Chael Sonnen. Chael, we heard from you in that promo there before the break about the bad blood between AJ McKee, Darrion Caldwell. If the amount of trash talking that these two have had leading into tonight is an indicator of the kind of fight we're going to have tonight, I think the fans at home should be pretty excited.
Yes, Jen, there are currently 6, and soon there will be 5. And I will tell you, Caldwell is the one that wanted this fight. Caldwell's the one that poked his finger in the younger McKee's chest. Usually we see the younger guy coming after the former champion. No, it was reversed around. And please notice when you're watching AJ McKee, this is his highlight, meaning some of his finest work, Jen, but it's also very diverse. He's doing knockouts with one punch with his hands. He's on bottom, giving up position, creating scrambles, and coming out with submissions. And we didn't know whether to call it an armbar or to call it a triangle because I've never even seen it before. That is how creative AJ is, and he's doing it on the fly.
Well, he is so good both on the ground and on his feet. Now, tonight will be a tough test for him in terms of in the wrestling department. This is the first time he's going to face an opponent who is a better wrestler, and Darrion Caldwell, as we talked about earlier, is so good on the ground.
Better pure wrestler. Now, AJ's countering that by saying this is MMA wrestling, and it's a little different. Jen, I don't know the answer to that question. I will tell you, though, it's pretty straightforward by Caldwell. Caldwell must get him down. He must control him for at least 3 of the 5 rounds. When you look at Caldwell's work here, he has the ability to not only close the distance very quickly, but then to convert, to get a guy off the ground, let gravity do the work from there. But Caldwell will always offer you something. He'll stick something in your face before he changes elevation. It's important to know you're going to have to scramble. The good news for McKee is he does know that. His father was a champion wrestler, and I trust that his conditioning will be on point.
Well, you speak about that conditioning, because that's something Darrion Caldwell talked to us about in the fights. He said, look, the one thing I have that AJ McKee doesn't is I've got that experience in those championship rounds. He questions whether the gas tank will be a factor tonight. The good news is we got to find out now, Chael. Goldie, back down to you.
Darrion Caldwell said you can't learn everything at one gym, and the Wolf had to go through different roads to find the path. Waiting on the trail was Jake Benny, and the bond was instantaneous. It's about trusting somebody and letting them hold the controller. Second 5-rounder for AJ McKee. His first was in the quarterfinals. And while he finished Derek Campos in the 3rd round, it still felt like a 25-minute fight. Bellator MMA on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by Mohegan Sun Arena. We don't sell tickets, we make memories. Everything is on the line tonight for Darrion Caldwell and AJ McKee. One man will go home. The other remains in the running for a massive amount of money.
Vying for the $1 million prize and championship glory, the undefeated AJ McKee.
We're winning chicken dinner. Let's get it.
Battles Darrion Caldwell.
I know you've heard this, punk. Come and get some.
Not just a win.
It don't matter. I'm running through them.
Pure dominance.
I'm gonna beat your too.
Darrion Caldwell. Just like that. AJ McKee.
Let's go! The mercenary claims another victim.
Where the is my belt?
And now, set to make his way to the cage, the mercenary AJ McKee.
AJ McKee, 25 years old,
Go to work,
16-0. Every victory inside the Bellator cage.
Let's go. Good luck.
Josh Thompson, keys to victory for the mercenary.
What he's got to do is make sure he doesn't give away any takedowns for free. He needs to make Darrion Caldwell earn every single takedown and make him use up that energy. He needs to control the pressure. And when we talked to him earlier this week, he said he's going to make Darrion Caldwell fight. If he does that, he's just going to give Darrion a way out.
And now making his way, the Wolf, Darrion Caldwell.
Something that's in your veins, and I put that on my name.
He is the former Bellator bantamweight champion, but he had a million reasons to compete in this featherweight tournament. Two-time All-American, national champion at North Carolina State. Big John, the keys to victory for the Wolf.
I will tell you, you talk about Darrion Caldwell, his keys, he needs to dictate the pace, the place, and the intensity of this fight. Make AJ work. Use your hands to get into him and your wrestling to put him on his back.
Our tail of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. These two men are a combined 25-0 at 145. Caldwell 7 years the elder of McKee. Everything else is virtually identical. Let's get this thing going. Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on CBS Sports Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for the main event of the evening, the first semifinal of the Featherweight World Grand Prix. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, President of Sports and Entertainment Tom Cantone, supervising at Cageside Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds, introducing the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 144.8 pounds, the undefeated professional tonight enters with 16 professional victories, no losses. Hailing from and fighting out of Long Beach, California, the mercenary AJ McKee. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 144.7 pounds, the former Bellator World Champion brings 15 professional victories, 3 defeats. Fighting out of Redlands, California, he hails from Rahway, New Jersey, Darrion the Wolf Caldwell. And the referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Fighters to the center, please.
All right, gentlemen, this is 5 rounds under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. We went over those in the back. I want a good, clean fight. If you'd like to touch gloves, feel free to do it now. Good luck.
Darrion Caldwell, AJ McKee. The winner advances to the finals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
Here we go! Tonight's Fight Clock presented by Geico. Southpaw versus Southpaw. Caldwell in the red gloves, McKee in the blue gloves.
Calculated. Play it, climb.
Very nice drop and entry by Caldwell. Let's see what he can do with the position.
Bicep control. Bicep control. Bicep
AJ made it
control.
very clear this week, even if he's on the bottom, he's going to make him work, make him take elbows, make him take strikes, make him feel like there's something always going on in the fight.
There we go. Now we're going to look for elbows off this position. Let's get some elbows going.
Yeah, you see it right there, Josh. The little heel kicks.
Stop him.
As the fight goes on, those pay dividends. Nice elbow though.
That was a nice heavy elbow by Darrion
Walk
Caldwell.
him to the cage. Trying to break your base. You got to climb. Climb, young man. Climb.
John, there's a lot of energy being used though right now by Darrion to hold him in place. There's a lot of intensity. That type of stuff will tend to wear your gas tank out as the round goes on.
That is all over! Just like that! Darrion Caldwell submitted by AJ McKee!
Wow!
It's not only from his back. Watch when he goes for the 100%. You'll see what happens as he starts to get a neck crank on Darrion Caldwell. Darrion Caldwell did not respond to it when it started to actually move his arm into place. Take a look at what occurs here. You're going to see AJ McKee is going to take his arm and bring his hand through and wrap it over. Here he goes into that 100%. Well, Darrion's head is to the left, which is causing it to pinch as soon as he starts to bring that over. Look at what we've got here. Look at the crank on his head. He starts to get pressure on it. He's trying to relieve it with his arm. He can't do it. Now you see the tap.
And the figure 4 keeps him from trying to get his butt higher up in the air. You watch AJ McKee here. As he starts to put it on, he locks his leg figure 4, so he can't try to back out. And there's no way for him to posture and pop his head out. And he's just putting pressure on that shoulder and that neck as well.
9th first round finish for AJ McKee. His 3rd by submission. He has made his way to the finals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix.
See this? This is the key right here. McKee got the key in the game on lock. I run this shit. Woo! Rest in peace, Kobe, Nipsey. That was the yard. Y'all shit understood. Shout out breast cancer. Stepmom lost both of them. Y'all good? Stay up. Always fight through. Anything can happen, man, but you put your mind to it, you can do it. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do something. Go do it. If it's your dream, it's your dream. It ain't for them to see. It's yours. Go get that, kids.
Hey.
We gotta have talk after fight. I ain't gonna do it to him right now. We're gonna chop it up. Once I have the body frame on, do it. I know. As soon as I locked the body frame, I wanted to make sure I got my elbow. Yeah. Once I had the body triangle, I was like, all right, cool. Let me get my elbow. I had it, but I didn't have my elbow. Once I slipped the elbow, I was like, oh, even before. Once again, the mercenary comes out with something no one is doing.
and one step closer to a title and $1 million. The mercenary, A.J. McKee, victorious by submission in the very first round. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the neck crank brings it to the end. The tap officially 1 minute, 11 seconds. Round number 1 by submission. He advances to the finals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix, the mercenary, A.J. McKee.
A.J. McKee defeats Darion Caldwell.
Who won it? Come get it.
A great competitor, eliminated. We will see him back looking for that belt at 135. Right now, this moment belongs to A.J. McKee, who will visit with Big John.
A.J. McKee, we talked earlier, and I talked about you facing a guy that was the first guy, in my opinion, that had a wrestling background that was better than what you had done in your career. And you said, John, this is not about wrestling, this is MMA. You said if he took you down, you were gonna make him pay. Talk about when he did get you down, the first thing that was going through your mind.
As soon as we hit the ground, I immediately thought, all right, I know he's gonna try to work elbows. He was real adamant on having his arms on the inside, so that told me he's looking to posture up and hit elbows. So I'm like, all right, control the arms a little bit, you know what I mean? And look for your elbows, hit him a little bit, show him some power, get him to open up, and then sink something in. So after that, he popped his head off to the side, and I locked up the body triangle. From there, underhook deep, and saw she wrote.
So when we talk about that underhook and that 100% position that you went to with this crank on his neck, once you locked up that body triangle, did you know, oh, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him?
Yeah, I just knew, I don't know, I like to play a lot of leverage, you know? You know me since I was a child, man. It's all about the angles. You know, you gotta have the right angle, and you can make anything work.
Well, talking about angles, you now have the straight angle to $1 million. Your next fight, you know, is not only for $1 million, not only for the Featherweight Grand Prix title, it's also for the Featherweight Championship of the World. What does that mean to you?
Man, that's the beginning of the beginning, you know? Childhood dream, I wrote myself at 12 years old, $1 million check, so I'm looking forward to cashing that in, conquer a world title, and then Patricio, even if you don't make it, I'm coming for my 55-pound title as well. I told you, it's nothing personal. You got great accolades, but I'm the new era, I'm the new wave. Everybody shout out to y'all for supporting. You know, I gotta give all the glory to God, man, upstairs. I wouldn't be talented as I am today without him. Of course, my father, my coach. Hit me on Instagram and follow the journey as I take over the game.
Well, I want to tell you, that was a beautiful performance. You just put yourself into the finals, 17-0. Congratulations. Back to you, Goldie.
Big John, thank you. A.J. McKee said months ago, everything I've ever wanted is staring me right in the face. Man, it is eyeball to eyeball now. And who will he fight for gold and $1 million? Will it be Emmanuel Sanchez or Patricio Pitbull, the champion? We know one thing, only 3 remain. And one finalist is named the Mercenary. Congratulations, A.J. McKee. Back up to Jen and Chael.
Well, thanks, Goldie. Hey, Chael, yeah, AJ, he called it. He said, look, I'm going to let Darion take this fight wherever he wants to take it. If it goes to the ground, I'll submit him from my back, and he did that. What did you think?
I was very surprised. Look, he had a little bit of help doing it. Caldwell, for the second time, has stubbed his toe with the same thing, Jen. He gets a position. He did it with Horiguchi. He did it again tonight, and he did not look to advance it. If you don't advance it, you get finished. If you're not moving, you're losing.
That was a great one tonight. I can't wait to see who they will face in the finals. That's the winner, of course, Emmanuel Sanchez and Patricio Pitbull. Goldie, back over to you.
Thank you very much. Speaking of titles, Bellator's only flyweight world champion looks to defend her title for the 5th time when unbeaten Alimale McFarlane fights unbeaten Brazilian Juliana Velasquez. That comes your way Thursday, December 10th, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, live right here on CBS Sports Network. Well done, A.J. McKee. He is in the finals. Bellator 253 has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. For Michael C. Williams, Jen Brown, Chael Sonnen, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, and our entire crew, this is Mike Goldberg saying so long until next time. We see you right back here inside the Bellator cage. We now send you to our New York studios for Inside College Football, right here on CBS Sports Network.